Welcome everyone to my Nintendo Switch 2 Direct recap. This was a very exciting presentation on Wednesday, and it showed us a lot of new things about the Switch 2 and the mini games that it's going to have. So, the first thing that was shown off was the new Mario Kart. This Mario Kart will be called Mario Kart World. It will be an open world racing game where you will be able to wander around the whole world and explore giant tracks with tons and tons of racers. This is a launch game for the Switch 2 and is very highly anticipated. Next, Nintendo revealed what the C button will do, which ended up being voice chat, which is pretty cool. It's a really nice feature. They also introduced a camera accessory, which is kind of weird, but we're just gonna go with it. Next, they talked about Switch 2 Edition games, which is pretty cool. It's like DLC for older Switch games like Kirby and Zelda. It'll be upgraded graphics and sometimes new content. Here are all the games now. You can also buy an expansion/upgrade pack to add the new content to the games if you get it on Switch 2. I'm also happy for ZA's graphics update, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to have a mouse-controlled scheme. So that's very nice. Some games get new content, like I said earlier, like Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby. Both of the Zeldas will also have free updates if you originally had Switch Online. So that's pretty nice. Next, they talked about some of the hardware stuff for Switch 2. This was stuff like a LCD screen, HDR, and 4K on TVs. But the big thing is the release date of the Switch 2 being June 5th. You're going to want to look out for that day, since a lot of these games are launching. The Joy-Cons are bigger, but one of the weird decisions Nintendo made was they are introducing a tech demo tutorial kind of thing called Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. This is kind of weird because it's paid. It would have been a great pack-in game, but for some reason we have to pay for a tutorial. Nintendo is kind of on their greed arc, but it's fine. Next, they talked about a new Nintendo IP, kind of like ARMS, to show off the mouse controls. It's kind of like Robot Wheelchair Basketball. It's kind of weird, but they wanted to show off the mouse controls, so that's fun. It's called Dragon Drive. Then, a lot of this presentation was third-party stuff, which I think is great. It'll help Nintendo build out their library and give them access to modern-gen games with the Switch 2's graphics. One of these is Elden Ring, Hades 2, and Split Fiction, which I think will be fun for co-op. They also talked about a new James Bond game. I don't really know much about that, but I think a lot of people are excited. Then, they announced a new Hyrule Warriors, being Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, about the imprisoning war. That'll come out this winter. That's pretty exciting. It'll use the Switch 2's graphics. Then they announced GameCube for Switch 2 Online. Then, one of the most exciting things for me is that Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 will be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day. I love Undertale and Deltarune, and I think this will boost its sales. Civilization 7 is also coming to Switch 2 using mouse controls, which is kind of cool, along with Cyberpunk 2077 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. One new game they showed off was the Duskbloods, which is an exclusive game to Switch 2, made by From Software, and I know a lot of people are excited about that. Finally, they showed off 2 first-party games, including Kirby Air Riders, which is a sequel to the GameCube game Kirby Air Ride. This is a racing game. And then finally, the big finale was a new 3D Donkey Kong, which will be in the same style as Mario Odyssey and will allow you to break apart the whole world. It will sort of be like a spiritual successor to that game, and it will be the first 3D Donkey Kong since DK64. These are all of the games, along with many others, that will be coming to Switch 2. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that everyone looks out for new videos coming soon, really.